Powder coating is a very popular way of protecting steel constructions. It adheres very well, it gives a thick layer, and it is kind of flexible, so it will take a good beating. But that also makes it difficult to remove. So in this video I will try a couple of ways of removing powder coating. My first attempt was on my single-sided steel-tubed swing arm for my Super Mono Racer, and I chose the tough method with a heating gun and a putty knife, just heating it really good, and the powder coat got a bit soft, and then you could kind of peel it off with a knife. But it still was very difficult to get everything off. So you see it's kind of striped here. Then I tried to glass blast it, and it makes a very nice surface, but still if there is any residues of the powder coat, it will take forever to sandblast it off. And I also tried with sand directly on, and it almost melts the powder coat, and it doesn't wear off as you would expect in a normal paint. So this is a quite possible method, but it takes forever and it creates a lot of this. So if you're really keen on doing the stripping of powder coating yourself, instead of leaving it to a company dealing with specifically this, they have big bathtubs that they can dip all of this in the same chemicals, but so it's kind of more efficient, and then of course you have to pay the bill. But if you're like me, keen on doing things yourself, there are some products on the market. I'm assuming they work similarly. There are certainly differences. I think I've tested one gasket stripper here, and it has about the same effect as this Rust-Oleum. But the method I found be working for the better is to step one, be very generous with the paint stripper chemical, and choose, in this case if you're doing a motorcycle frame, choose something that is kind of gel in its consistency, so it will stick to wherever you want to remove the powder coating. So I'm just doing a small portion here for you to see, but I'm very generous in just as much as you can actually, so it won't drip off. So let's see, now we have a bunch of it here, like so, and then step two is to use some kind of plastic foil to ensure that this sticks to the surface, so it doesn't go anywhere, and nothing is evaporating from it. And then just try to follow the surface very tightly, so there is no unnecessary air here. You see, so it really sticks to the surface, and then leave it here like a couple of hours. I found be enough. You can leave it longer, but then it will dry up. And the thing is that you want this to be soaked, and when it dissolves the paint, you will still have some of the chemical left, so it stays moist, if you like. So now we leave it here for let's say 2 hours, and we'll be back. Now this piece has been lying here for well over 2 hours, but already after 30 minutes you could see this, it's starting to shrink here. So we'll just open up and see what the status is of the cover coat, because this one is powder coated both in a cover coat and a primary one. So you can see here that the cover coat is peeling off nicely, and a little bit also on the primary. So but you have to mechanically take it away a little bit. Somewhere where the paint stripper has been in fluid, and a lot of it, there it is peeling off more than it does if it hasn't been covering totally. Then it's a little bit sticking. So, and then what you'll have to do is to continue, put another layer on and cover it up in plastic again, and repeat. This is what was possible to peel off from the first round. So we'll just have to continue with more layers of paint stripper, pack it up, and then repeat. This is the second time around. This wrapping and the paint stripper has been on for maybe 45 minutes or so. So it starts bubbling up like this. So that looks promising. And I can try to just peel something off like this. And it's quite dependent on whether this paint stripper has had actual contact or not, whether it's actually dissolving the paint as it should. So it kind of a sloppy work, but it does the job. One other thing that I found a bit good, a good procedure was to continue to soak it with this paint stripper and kind of brush it with a steel brush, because then the paint stripper will remain here present and continue to work. So when you brush off one layer, then the paint stripper has access to the next one. So this is one way of speeding it up a little bit. So just keep it soaked and continue to massage it. Maybe it should be staying on a little while, but I think you get the picture. So it's getting there, but it's not without work, I might add. Ta-da! Well, it was a day and a half, I can tell you that, but now it's clean almost everywhere. There are some small tricky spots here and there to continue to get this powder coat away. But so what did we learn from this? There are of course companies that do this as for a living, and they have appropriate tools, and they can soak the whole thing for you in it and strip the paint. I'm sure just pay the bill and they will do it. If you want to do it yourself, there are a couple of good products out there. Rust-Oleum is one of them. I have tested this and it seems decent. You can use a gasket stripper, but it doesn't stick on as you might want it to. It's good if you can apply it in a thick layer, and then wrap it in plastic foil and leave it for an hour or two, and then repeat. And I've just also made good use of a knife and a steel brush to get everything away. And maybe it took 2 times to get the most, like say, 75% away, and then I spent maybe 3 or 4 layers more to get the powder coat away from the tricky spots. So and also think twice before you powder coat, because it will wear off. You will get dents eventually, even in a powder coat. And when removing it, there is a kind of a heavy workload for you. But it's good for a number of applications. I might not choose to do this again on a motorcycle frame, because it can also hide cracks if you have some problems with that. But it's good for, like I say, numerous of applications. So this motorcycle frame will not have a powder coat again, but never say never, I would say. So that's what I've learned about stripping powder coat away from your frame or anything else. And if you find this video valuable in any way, please subscribe and like, and take care.